Hey everyone, welcome to the Shake Me Awake podcast with Jen. It's taken me 40 years to finally wake up to my true potential, my authenticity, my purpose, and my passion in life. I can't go back to sleep, and I want you to wake up with me. Every week we'll be talking about the journey of opening your eyes to the life you were meant to lead, how to show up as the real you in this one life we've been given, how to live more authentically, and how to find your true purpose instead of sleepwalking through life like so many of us are doing. I want you to wake up every day filled with purpose and passion and show up as the true you, because otherwise, life is exhausting. I am committed to living each day authentically and with true purpose, and I want you to join me. Follow this podcast and visit my website at shakemeawake.com. Be part of a community of people who are done sleeping through life. My guest on this episode is the lovely Georgia Holleran. She has spent her life researching how we can make the best of our time on this planet without letting ourselves get in the way. Her background is in the arts, education, neuro-linguistic programming, cognitive hypnotherapy, and a research master's. She's an educator, writer, speaker, and the author of the last self-help book you'll ever need. In this book, she summarizes the best she has learned so far in life. And she teaches you how to use it as a self-help book catered to the very person it's meant to help, you, which is why it's the last one you'll ever need. We talk about how there are many different parts of ourselves, and she refers to this as the 14 ladies, which I love. She helps us see how we can have a healthy relationship and engage with, and most importantly, love, all the parts of ourselves that are also on this journey with us. She also gave me a really beautiful visual of how those of us who are on similar journeys are these beacons of light all around the world. And we just have to shine our beacon of light and link up with each other so others can see our light and we can see theirs, and we can link up and be in each other's energy. I laughed through this entire episode with her, and I absolutely love her take on things and her energy. I think the biggest thing I got out of this conversation is to let go of the clinging energy I sometimes get stuck in, and what is meant for me will find me, and it will just flow. I know you're going to love her as much as I did. Pick up her book on Amazon called The Last Self-Help Book You'll Ever Need. Sign up for her newsletter, The Wandering Light Bulb, to stay connected and remain in her energy. And visit her website at georgiaholleran.com to see everything she's up to, and also to see the graphics of the book, because her book is different than others. And there's another one that has a similar title. I love her caricature of herself on her website. It's adorable and it really captures her energy. Please welcome Georgia Holleran.
I love your podcast. I've listened to a few, tried to get some in when I've been like, oh, they've just, your dad.
Oh, my dad is so cute.
How adorable. And he's right. He's got, I don't know about the face, got the voice for radio, do the
Doesn't
podcast.
he?
I just get him. We're all like that, aren't we? We have a million ideas,
Yep.
and execution. But you know what he was doing? He was growing a family, and
Yeah.
you're maybe the same. That
Yeah.
sometimes just the regular money
Yeah.
is the most important. I think he chose
Right.
every time.
I'm so blessed to have had such a wonderful father, a wonderful example. He's just a wonderful man, and he's
Mm.
brilliant. And I would love to have seen him become a millionaire because of how smart he is, but I wouldn't change what a wonderful, present, loving dad he always was. So,
Oh, he didn't chase the money. What would that have taught you?
right. Yeah. And he and my mom have been married for 47 years, and they're still as in love today as they were then. So how is that not the better story?
Well, I think maybe you believe in the same as I do, that that's your fate, and if you're lucky, you get to play it out. And if you just kind of go for something that's not you, you learn because it comes back round. But
Uh-huh.
he didn't spend all those days and years learning. He just went with the gut, and maybe he'll have a little bit of experimentation or just fun with your mum on the road
Yep.
speculating. I just have a lovely image. They're on the
Oh,
road going somewhere talking about stuff.
yep.
Love
And
it.
that's what they
Really
do
love
all
that
the
was a
time.
lovely,
Oh, thank you.
good,
Well, it's so
lovely.
nice to meet you. I went on your website and looked at your book. That is amazing. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, actually, it's a little bit like what your podcast is. It's a kind of love letter to your son, and I did it as a kind of a summary of my work in progress to date, I will say, for my daughter, who is also 18.
Aw.
And it's not been an easy 18. And I don't think the future looks at all bright for anyone unless they kind of get their act together in some way. And so my parents, who are 11 adults, my stepfather, my dad went when I was quite young, but my stepfather, my mum, my parents, they both died in 2022, and I'm the only one around to kind of look after them from the family. So I transplanted myself 200 miles to where they lived, and it was wonderful. I mean, it sounds terrible, but it was a wonderful year. It was, as only I could say, probably I wouldn't dare to say it about someone else going through it. But I just suddenly looked around and went, I've just made the best out of an awful situation, gave them comfort, made sure they were organized, and gave away everything and sold everything. Didn't just dump their stuff, which was two generations of
Wow.
everyone's had accumulated in their house. And some of my own that I remember throwing out in the 90s, that found its way up to the loft. So, throw that out again. So I did everything, and it was hard, but I did it the right way. And I just went, how did I even learn that? Where did I learn that? I wasn't young. I was in my 50s. But I was like, oh, that stuff would have been useful to know, wouldn't it? I wonder if I should maybe just record that in some way. And the book just came out.
Oh,
So that was last year. And yeah, it's about this time last year, I just sat down and it came out almost solid and written.
wow.
Um, and then obviously I got help with people helping me shape it a bit and making me look good in print. And I went self-print with Troubadour, who have been excellent. And they've made a book that looks like a book.
Yay.
That's I know. And I've got, testament to them. The idea is I wanted that to be a starting point of a conversation with people, not a product. I'm giving them all away, as many as I can. I shall send one to you if you let me have your
Oh,
address.
oh,
And you
I
can have
love
one
that.
however long that takes. Because it's probably like you wanted, it's more important to get the learning out in the right way, the message, the passing on of knowledge. Um,
Yes,
so
absolutely.
that's how the book turned up. And then it was like, oh, now what? Even now, even that came out in March, in where am I now? June. Yeah. So halfway through May, I went, oh, I think I might write another book, but I'm going to do it as an episodic. I know, quite as an episodic thing, like
Uh-huh.
Dickens used to write, a bit every week. And it's going to form itself into the second book. And as I started to take on this again, I heard your advice, just
Mhm.
start it. The world unfolds. Take that step. The universe comes to find you every single time. I can't tell you how
Yeah.
many times that happened. Take the step. Get it wrong, whatever, it won't be wrong. It'll inform you.
Mhm.
So I took the step and went, right, I'm going to write something. And then the idea came to me about writing the book. But every month I would write 4 episodes, and it'd be a complete. So I have so many books of
Ah,
things that I've found so interesting as a result of writing mine, that I went, oh, I need to do something with that. But what? And then it went, you just keep writing.
mhm.
So I'll just keep writing. It's called The
Yeah.
Wandering Light Bulb. And it's
Oh,
my newsletter, but it's not really, because it's going to build into a book where you write your own self-help book for yourself, because it's about you, not about me telling you what you should know.
yes, that's
So when
brilliant.
that emerged, I went, oh, right, everything relaxes.
Yeah.
I don't plan now. I don't stress about stuff. I smile. I take time off. You know what that's like, right? When you give yourself time off, it's
Yes,
good.
I have to.
you, there's a plan unfolding.
Mhm.
So you just feel really very much in the groove. It feels
Mhm.
great. And I know I'm in my next groove, and
Oh,
I'm sorted until the end of the year. And then I'll done change something else. So maybe I'll run a course on how to fill in your book. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the first thing that came to my
I'll
mind
see
when
you there.
yeah, I would love to. Well, that's what came to my mind when you were explaining it is, I talked about doing a course to help walk people through how to write a book to their children. And
Yep.
yeah, I love that. It's teaching them how to write a book to themselves. I just think
Yeah,
that's
it's a
absolutely
so I say
brilliant.
the last self-help book you'll ever need, because that is all you need to know. But what you don't know is I've got this triangle thing. I bang on about this triangle where we have the concept, the knowledge at the top, and then I always get this the wrong way around. But somewhere here, there is. Hold on, you can just hold a triangle. Here's my printout.
Yeah.
Okay, so that, yeah,
Oh.
energy. So the energy's in that bottom. That's the inspiration that keeps you going. And then this side is your system and your process and your framework. So I would provide the knowledge and maybe the framework. But how do you then how do you get in, how do you fall in love with it? How do you make it you? How do you not, how do you get out of your way? And I'll come back to that in a second, because that is the hugest thing, is you. The hugest thing in the triangle, your self-help triangle, is you. But we never really can address that, as a book can't do it. It doesn't know you.
Mm-hmm.
You are the only person, and most of you is probably hiding from other parts of you and dodging you and saying, look over there, don't look at that, and
Mm-hmm.
distracting you in the self-sabotage. So it's the knowledge, fine, the book is the framework, but actually the secret is starting to understand the self.
Mm.
And it
Oh,
can
I
be
love
done,
that.
and things can.
And you're so
So
right.
yeah,
We stress about things like deadlines and we stress about, well, what's everyone else doing? And I got a text from my sister this morning. She has an idea for a business and she started doing some research and she texted me and said, "Oh my gosh, other people have a similar idea. What am I going to do?" And I'm like, "You do it, but you bring you to it and it'll be different."
you
Yes,
your version,
exactly. Stop
200%.
worrying about what everyone else is doing.
Because even if there's only a handful of people that really get you, or how rich will that relationship be? And that's what it's all about. It's like that is the most important thing, is your experience in the world is the most important thing. To You can't be someone else, or you
Right.
can't be a successful podcaster that you're emulating, or
Right.
a millionaire or anything. You have to go in on this one and find out what it is. But it's not about, it's really not about money. It shouldn't be
Mm-mm.
about money.
Mm-mm.
That's just another big problem you give yourself.
Yes, it is. If you're trying to
When
chase what's going to bring you money, you're already in the wrong energy to be successful at it and to love it.
in the
You're not
wrong
going
race,
to love it.
you're in
Yeah.
the wrong lane of the wrong race.
Yeah.
You're like running in this race and you're completely ignoring maybe the point about why we're here.
Ugh.
Because if you think about it, maybe there isn't a point. A lot of people probably think there isn't a point, but actually, hey, if there was a point, what would that point be? And it might be to just experience this and learn how to move through it in a way that affects others in a good way. So I
Mhm.
come right from the philosophy at the top of like, yeah, it's going to be good, whatever I produce, because it's going to be very much what I want to produce. And it won't attract everybody.
Mm-mm.
I couldn't handle that if it did. But
I, yeah, and
people,
there are certain people that aren't in alignment with the energy that I'm trying to bring or the stuff that I'm trying to put out into the world anyway, and that's okay. They're on their own journey. And,
yeah,
if I change myself and try to speak to who someone else is speaking to, then I miss a whole bucket of people over here who love what I have to offer, who love me, who love my
yeah,
unique whatever that I bring. Yeah, so you're missing out on the people that are right for you if you're not being you.
yeah. And I
Yeah.
find that could go back to a self-confidence thing about, well, what have I got to share? And I think that goes back into the bit that I'm studying at the moment, which is parts theory, and how we are separate parts within ourselves that have kind of separated off due to experiences we had as children or adults, or trauma and things like that. And we think we're just kind of speaking as one, but actually, fact, we've got parts who kind of influence us, whether we know it or not, about maybe being scared of speaking in public. That something else was happening, and that part's taken over, going, we can't do this, we can't do this. And yet we might speak in public quite regularly in other aspects, maybe at family dues. I don't know. it's that idea that we are always thinking we are one person, which of course we are, but actually there's lots of facets of us. And I do allude to that in the book about the 14 ladies that I found inhabiting my consciousness, a bit disconcerting. And but that turned into a very bona fide theory that went right back to Plato, and that we are parts of self. And if you start understanding yourself as different, maybe quite scared parts, the compassion you start having for yourself, and there you say even love, and that's what helps you open the door to being you, because you kind of love all of you, and you go, oh, come on, let's go and share this, see who else is out there, and it doesn't become what other people think because it's not relevant. It's you're comforting, you're in yourself, you're comforted by yourself, you don't need the outside
Mhm.
influence. And that self-confidence thing is the thing that I think needs to be. Some people see it as like oh, I'm better than everyone, and once you're in there it's like just isn't that at all. It's
Mm-mm.
like, no, I'm okay, we're good here.
Mhm, mhm. It's almost like I just start kind of taking care of the other parts of me because I can be afraid of public speaking and love talking to a group of of women that are all trying to better themselves. So I love that idea that there's lots of different sort of baby Jennifers inside of me who is
Yes.
are kind of
Yep.
the inner child of Jennifer, and I
Yep.
just have to care for those parts of her that are
You
scared
can.
or,
You're perfect in that.
self-conscious. Yeah, exactly, and I can walk out on a stage and be excited because there is a part of me that really wants to do public speaking, and I can be excited about the idea of talking to these beautiful women that have come to hear my message, and I wanna share this message with them because I wanna help them be better, but then I've got this scared Jennifer inside that is terrified of looking like an idiot, sounding like an idiot, saying the wrong thing, whatever she's scared of. And I just love her and bring her with me and say, it's okay. We're going to do this
Yes.
together.
That's exactly it. She comes alongside and she stands with you while you're the confident
Right.
Jen that we all know and love, and you know that you are known and loved, so you're secure in that audience. And she's like, "Wow," and then she'll be confident in that and go, "Oh, I know she knows what she's on about. This is okay. I'll just sit here and do stuff." And that way, it's a kind of bringing together the sense of parts. We don't disown the parts we don't like. We understand them, and we understand why they're doing what they do to protect us from public speaking, where we might look shameful. And it's just acknowledging them and going, "Well, come on then, what should we do?" As a parent yourself, or even as someone who's got through life, even for a couple of decades, you're worlds away from the very small, scared, and largely unable to help themselves young child that lurks inside a lot of us, through one way or another, with the things that children have had to encounter, like the fact that they're entirely dependent on others, good or bad.
Right.
That must be very scary. And luckily, we don't really remember a lot of that outwardly. But I think the body very much and the mind very much separates what isn't useful and just keeps going. And there's all these little bits that we're left hanging with nothing to do other than, try and get your attention. So that's the main part of all this is the emotion. What is it about that's stopping you? Or maybe like your dad again, is that drive to produce things. And there's another bit of him going, well, I looked into it and someone's already, like we said earlier, done that. Or, oh wow, they invented that 20 years later. That's their thing. You can let that go when you're confident yourself, go, wow, I had an idea like that. That's brilliant. Great.
Yeah.
Oh, look, it worked for them. For them.
Right. Yeah.
It's like
I'm
no
pretty smart.
God, I was good. Glad they did it.
Yeah.
It's you're just peaceful, and peaceful's a
Yeah.
wonderful place to be.
Mm. I love that that's what you keep kind of coming back to. I feel like that's the theme with you is that nothing what's right for you will come to you and what's not will pass you by and that's okay too. And I feel like you don't have this clinging energy to anything that I do feel like this um kind of ease in your presence that what's meant to be for me will come to me, and there's something that I've learned as I've gotten older is just taking action that's aligned with my authenticity, that's aligned with what I really want in my life, with what I want to spend my time doing, and the rest will flow from there.
And you've got to remember that though, haven't you? And there's
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
sometimes there's that notion going, we haven't done anything. What are you going to do? And you've printed a book. What are you going to do with this? Got 500 copies, you know? And it's like, and now I've had to go, guys, come on. We're okay. We've been here before. We've done this. But you have to remember to do that. And I say in my book somewhere that all the things that I go, oh yeah, that was great. And I completely forgot about it. Never thought about it again for 10 years. And then everyone came back and went, well, yeah, I learned that, didn't I? It's just, you've got to laugh and go, I wouldn't have been me now if I'd have been me then. And it's all good. But by no means is this a perfect work. This is very much in progress. And I have to remind myself, like the other day, I was trying, social media I will get to. I haven't started any yet, but I've been putting my blog on and my website. I resisted for lots of reasons. And I just brought IT self out. I went, I have designed websites for other people. Why am I not doing it? And so the IT grumbly part of myself went, well, that was stressful. And I went, well, that was for other people. And they went, oh, yeah. This is for us. Yeah. Come on. Get in with us. Come on, join up. And that was it. That was all. It was a conversation with a part of myself that was resisting because it felt the pressure of doing it for other people, time and getting it right and appearing knowledgeable and all those things. And where in fact it's just me talking to me, and I'll be okay with whatever you do. Just sit down and do something, and that's it. Back in love with my absolute website. You know, I'm like, oh, I can do it, you know, and that was just recently. Before, because I've been resisting a blog. Don't really like blogs, don't like newsletters, but actually my newsletter isn't, it's a book. And my blog isn't, it's the book online.
I love
So
it.
I got
I
around
love
that.
it. I think that's brilliant. And I love how you keep talking about having the conversation with the parts of yourself, because that's really required every single day. Honestly, to sit with, okay, who's not showing up today in here? What's going
That's it.
on? Who's not pulling their weight and what's happening?
Who's
Let's
driving the
talk about it.
bus is what I said. Who's driving the bus? Because it's a shambles. Have you learned to drive? No, you're 8. Get up. You can sit next to me, but you're not driving. And it is like that. And actually, when you do term it like that, sometimes and you're having some sort of existential trauma and you realize it's just a part somewhere, you go, right, okay, guys, chill out. Or when I used to have things that went right, I'd be so overexcited and fizzy about it. And I'd go, well, this is not going to get us anywhere. But they're all like, you know, like this. And I go, all right, we'll go around, go on, let's cheer a little bit. And it just puts a perspective, makes you sound really nuts if you're not amongst people that get it. I'm converting as many people as I can into the idea that we can have conversations with ourselves. It's fine. And it's that whole thing about whatever you're feeling, notice it. Is it good? Fine. If it's not good, a little tweak, a little check who's driving, a little check, because it would be something would happen that was so good that I'd be able to, I'm just pacing, you know, pacing and pacing. I go, it's really, really a good use of my time. I know I'm excited about something. And then all the girls would high five themselves and we'd sit down and go, right, let's read a book, cup of tea. Yes. And it's a sense of you're never alone, but also at the same time, you're full of these people who exactly know you and know exactly how to work with you, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
See over.
Well, yeah, I know. So I'm definitely going to sign up for your book newsletter blog.
Oh,
Love it.
fantastic.
I definitely want to read your book, so I will order it or whatever, however I can get a hold of it, because I've loved this conversation. I can't wait to read it. I can't wait to sign up that's something for me. If I have people that I feel like are there on the other side, that's the thing about social media is it feels like a black hole, and it's like you put your heart and soul out into it, and then you either hear nothing, or maybe you are afraid that there's going to be negativity on the other side, or maybe there is negativity on the other side, or there's just nothing. And so if I have anybody, just anybody, friends, family, my mom, who likes it or comments on it, I'm like, oh, okay, there is somebody out there listening.
Yes.
So yeah, I think that's really important that we support each other in these kind of endeavors so we can help keep the person going and that way we're not all alone with only our parts of ourselves. There is somebody else listening.
Definitely doing what you suggested, which is passing the next bit of knowledge. You don't have to know everything. You just need to know the next bit of the knowledge because people have done that to you. You read a book, that's your next bit of knowledge. You don't have to like have be in the room somewhere. But I've got this vision, and you're like this, that there are little beacons all the way around the world, and our job is just to join up with everybody. You could be just as much part of what I do is I can be part of you, or like two arms of the same kind of system, if you like, that's kind of spread around the world. And one of the things I do struggle with is social media because just don't do it. I never have, and I never really wanted to because it all seems to be putting energy out there. And like you said, I need to know why. I need to know why I'm doing. But I have a feeling now I've given myself some slack that I will start to do probably Twitter, X, because that way it's conversational. It's very much a conversational medium where so many of the others are just posting with comment. This is a real two-way. So that's what I'm going to do next. And I think as soon as that last bit clicks into place, I'm just going to go, oh, yeah, I know how I'm going to do this. And it'll be off. But
Mhm.
that's the way it is. And I have to do, whether it's on air or not, shout out to the wonderful Mel, who's my very, very part-time VA. And she found you and she said, oh, what do you think of Jen? And I went, I just love Jen. So that was via another person, another equally wonderful person who made that dot. And there's all these little dots around the world. And all we've got to do is keep going and we will find each other. Very much
Oh,
believe that.
I love that. That is so beautiful. Now that's how I'm going to picture it is just beacons around the world. I love that. Because where are you from?
I live in London, just outside London, so just slightly north. So a little bit far away, but I have driven across America and we started at Denver. So I know Colorado and
Oh,
lots of other amazing, such an amazing country. And I will be back. So guess who'll be on my way? I
yes,
will pass through
please.
London
I would love to
for
meet you in
sure.
person.
Well, we see who's going to make it happen if we don't make it happen.
Exactly.
Who?
Exactly.
I
And
will be
that's
doing a book tour. I've started off in the
yay.
UK, but you never know.
Oh, well, we visited Scotland and Ireland last year and we didn't have time to go into London to England, but we definitely want to go back. So, yeah, one way or another, we're going to hook up.
Well, we're going to keep in touch because we are beacons, aren't
Oh,
we? We've
yeah.
met. We're
I
part of
love
the
that.
dots on the world, and I very strongly believe that. And in a way, that's how I get myself. I'm not an introvert. Part of me is. Part of me is an extrovert. It's another one of those part.
Mhm.
And but I won't do something unless I totally can be authentic with it. And that does stop me just jumping in and doing things. But then I feel whoever's receiving that gets a better bang for the buck because actually they're getting something of a little bit authentic quality rather than me just going, oh, I think I'll do this and throwing something at the wall. So I believe very much that as soon as that Twitter stuff gets up and running, for me, I think that's when it's going to really start to connect up and we'll all be in it together. We'll be touring the world, you and me.
I love it. Well, I am going to be following you. I think you are absolutely wonderful. I have enjoyed this so much. I've loved everything you've said. If I could jump through the screen and have coffee with you right there on your couch, I totally would right now. I
Do
just love
it.
this.
Well, we will. There you
Yeah,
go. It's just a matter of time.
love
You
it.
aeroplanes. Um, a bit, but that's it because actually we're all very similar people.
Yeah.
The people that we like are very similar to us, but in the good ways, not not those annoying ways. Part of the self again. We like what we see, and I recognize your journey very much. I recognize what you were doing. I've never stayed 20 years in anything. I can barely stay two. So I've mainly just done as little work as possible to keep myself going and just explored everything in the world, just inner world. So I stand and salute you for 20 years at the corporate chalk face because, well, it'll pay off, just like it is for your dad. It will pay off. You know
I
what I
hope
mean?
so.
Give you
I
the
hope
freedom.
so.
It will give you the freedom to have put your ducks in a row, got your level of income up to a point where it's okay, and then you just add on the top. I know that. I can feel that. So you did it the right way, and I just mucked about.
Well, that's the thing. I think no matter how you did it, you look at someone else and go, "Oh, should I have done it like that instead?"
Yeah,
But this
don't we?
was my journey and I can't change it. So I'm just trying to, like you said, make the best of it.
And you're doing this, and this is how I've met you. So you did this. I didn't.
I love
So
this. I
lovely.
love this. This is actually what's getting me through the last like 4 or 5 years of still working at that position.
Yeah.
It was like these parts of me were starting to seep through the corners and through like light beams coming out of holes. Like I had to find some way to let it out and to start to engage in this way with people like you and meet people like you. Otherwise, I feel like I was starting to go crazy. I kind of had like this incarcerated feeling where I was just in this box. So this has been my outlet and it's been absolutely wonderful and it's saving me.
Yeah, it's what you should be doing, but maybe you shouldn't have been doing it at 24. You had to wait till you get a little bit older with slightly grown-up children, and then it's the right time, and you know it's the right time because they, like you said, the little beams of light start coming out, and you're like, what's this about? And that will be parts of you, and I'll catch up with you again one day, and we'll talk about parts, and I can take you through a process where you can just go have little conversations, very gentle conversations with those hidden parts that have been signaling you so desperately, but they've been doing it in such a sweet way. I feel you've got to go thank you to all of them because they did it. You didn't have the whole breakdown and drive your car into a tree or anything dramatic. They were just going, "Hello, Jane. Hello, Jane." What should I be doing? And so they did it in their way, which was the best way to do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, those conversations with them, they'll be so excited at where you're going, and you have the confidence that you are totally on the right path, because I believe you are. You look like it, you sound like it, you
Oh,
are.
you're so sweet. Thank you so much. This has
I'm
been so
reflecting
great.
back what I see, and I think it's important. Until you get good at doing it to yourself, I'll do
Right.
it. I'll do it for you.
Okay, awesome. Well, I'm in your corner, you're in my corner. I can't wait to reconnect.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much. I'm delighted having heard you to have a chance to speak to you. So thank you very much
Oh,
for inviting me.
thank you. Thank you for being here. I've gotten, I think, more from this, and that's how these have all been is I get more from it than I feel like I give. And to me, that's wonderful. So,
Not at all. No, it's reciprocated. It always
mhm.
is.
Thank
Right.
you.
Okay. That's. I hope you weren't too nervous. I heard you said you get nervous, but
I
that's
do.
excitement.
I
That's
do.
excitement in disguise, don't you? About what you're gonna find and everything. So
Oh, for
it's been
sure.
lovely.
Yeah, I do. It is. It's just nervous because I've never seen the person that's about to come on the screen before. I've never interacted. I don't know how they're going to talk to me. I don't know how they're going to accept me. And every single time, it's absolutely brilliant. It's absolutely wonderful. It's like I fall in love with everyone that I talk to because, like you said, there are people that are seeking the same kind of stuff I'm seeking. They want the same things I want out of life. They're trying to create the same kind of life for themselves. So I should just accept and already know that the person that's going to be on the other side is going to be amazing and wonderful and feel the same about world and life that I do and also teach me things. Every single person has taught me things
And you
about life.
found us. You found
Yeah,
us. And that's
yeah,
the
I
interesting
love
thing.
that.
Cast your net out, and we're the people who have responded. And therefore you are engineering this, you see. It's you. We're just caught in your net. So
I
it's
love that.
but that you did all this. So like, if somebody's a little bit grumpy on the end, it's well, that's not their day, but it's certainly nothing to do with you. But I think that the confidence will come and you'll like recognize it as excitement each time and go, wow, where are we going today? How am I going to test myself? And how's it going to come together? And know that it'll be fine. People listening love an authentic podcast where people are chatting about talking and forgetting what they were going to say. And it's like listening to a conversation. And that's what a podcast should be.
Tell me your website so that I can have it in here.
So so you can go through my name, which is georgiaholleran.com, tricky to spell, or it's thelastselfhelpbook.com. And that should get onto the website. You can find me on Amazon, just putting in the name or The Last Self-Help Book. There's another one called The Last Self-Help, but that's not mine. It's got a great groovy cover. And that's how to get into the system, if you like, and then sign up to the Wandering Light Bulb, and we'll keep in touch. Is what I'm asking people. There's no do you hate scammy behavior? There's none of that. I'm not after your money. I'm after connections to understand what I can keep giving, if you like, and what people are wanting and how my stuff's going down. So really, anyone would do me a favor by signing up and giving me feedback and being part of a community that discusses these things, and I can make sure I'm producing the right stuff. So that's how people can get on. Then the newsletter is the ongoing process, but have a look at the book. I've been told it's like hearing me, but the difference being you can shut the book and put it away.
I love it. I love it. Well, I definitely want to hear more of you. So I will be getting it, and I will be signing in and logging on and following you.
Fabulous. That's wonderful. Thank you so much. You made this happen, Jen. You made it happen.
Thank you. Well, thank you for being here. I loved it. Hey, everyone. I just want to thank you so much for joining me on this podcast. Make sure to follow or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you get notified of new episodes. Also, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and sign up for my newsletter at shakemeawake.com. I hope you'll tune in again.